Broadcasting from Manhattan Beach and the World Wide Web, you're listening to CHSR, HealthyLife.net.
As a service to our listeners, this program is for general information and entertainment purposes only. CHSR HealthyLife.net does not recommend, endorse, or object to the views, products, or topics expressed or discussed by show hosts or their guests. We suggest you always consult with your own personal, medical, financial, or legal advisor.
Pretty is pretty important in all things in beauty. Welcome to Radio AMB, designed for those who want to live a long and vibrant life. I'm Patty Smucker, your host, and someone who's been in the business for now over 40 years. I can't believe it. Radio AMB, which stands for American Made Beauty, is a place where we tell the secrets behind the making of health and beauty products. Our sponsor is Free Your Mane, and Free Your Mane is an amazing hair care product that you can find online at freeyourmane, spelled MANE.com, or also in Anthropologie stores. As those of you that have been following our program know, my big break in the industry came from a man that I describe as one of our modern-day geniuses, Horst Rechelbacher. Today, we have the second of our two-part series where we get to meet the second woman who is carrying on the legacy of the master and continuing to change the world one unadulterated, certified organic bottle of beauty products at a time. During our feature segment today, you'll meet Horst's daughter and co-owner of Intelligent Nutrients, Nicole Rechelbacher. Remembering the day when Aveda entered her life will be the focus of our feature interview today, and we'll hear about her early career and when and how she joined her father in his passion to change the way beauty products are made. Today we'll pull back the curtain and tell you how Nicole became part of making history. Now, we normally follow our feature segment with three shorter segments. Because this story is so near and dear to my heart, I have no idea where this conversation is going, so I'm not making any guarantees. But loosely, we've planned our In the Jar segment will tell you how consumer education is at the cornerstone of Nicole's vision for Intelligent Nutrients. During our segment we call Beauty That's Soul Deep, we'll hear how Intelligent Nutrients is living their activism, stepping into the big shoes of how ingredients and products are sourced, created, marketed to innovate a whole new level of luxury goods. And finally, we'll wrap up our business segment where Nicole will give us some insights on the evolution of the professional beauty industry and how Intelligent Nutrients is playing a leading role. So let's get started. Let me tell you a little bit more about Nicole. Nicole Rechelbacher grew in the world of beauty as the daughter of ecopreneur Horst Rechelbacher, founder of Aveda. Her colorful childhood included yoga, meditation, family retreats with an Indian Ayurvedic teacher who gained notoriety as the Swami to the Beatles, Swami Rama. She spent summers studying cosmetology with her father, Horst, while he whipped up hair care products in the kitchen. Her personal interest and drive around all things organic was firmly planted, and her voice as a pioneer was formed early. Photo shoots and hair shows followed. On the heels of high school, she began a coveted entrepreneur program with Vidal Sassoon in Hamburg, where she honed her skills as a stylist. Nicole went on to study in the Minneapolis College of Art and Design and then moved to New York. While working at the first Aveda shop in Madison Avenue, she studied accessories and clothing design at New York's FIT and designed an organic clothing collection of her own. Always ahead of trends and away from toxins, Nicole was instrumental in building Aveda's marketing and creative department and remained so for many years. A visionary in her own right, she helped develop the concept for the product lineup known as Intelligent Nutrients. Nicole is currently a co-owner of Intelligent Nutrients and plays a key role in product development and creative. And Nicole lives in Minneapolis with her husband and 3 children. So welcome, Nicole. I'm just honored to have you here with us today.
Well, I'm honored to be here, and and having you reach out and for us to tell our story, because we got a pretty unique story, and what my father started is so dear to my heart, and we just left him. He just left us too early.
Absolutely.
And,
it's only been
to talk about it is to bring your loved ones back, because we're all about energy and continuing on through stories and passion of what he's given us in terms of like ingredients and formulas and just lessons he instilled in us all. It's just thank you for giving us the opportunity to keep it going.
Well, thank you. And as you look back, I mean, you and I we've had a chance to sort of reconnect and talk, and I'm wondering, as you look back at your childhood and early introduction to yoga and meditation, was it fun as a young kid, or was it a chore?
Well, actually, I remember when my mom, and I was probably about 4 years old, my brother and I were playing in the house, and my mom was listening to this tape, and she was trying to meditate. And my brother and I thought it was hysterical because it was talking about breathing and relaxing, and it was this very calm kind of voice and, holistic Swami, and talking about finding yourself and calming yourself. And Pete and I were just like, my brother, we were just like, what is going on? And we kind of found it more entertaining, and that was our first my first experience of noticing the household was changing. But, it was changing in a different way, in the sense that we were brought up with the hairdressing, in the hairdressing world. Like, Dad was always busy, always going out, and it was always on the road. He was traveling a ton, and he had his own salon, so he was always coming and going and living a jet-set lifestyle.
Right.
Because, this was the beginning of the 70s. I was born in 1967. And, he was working for big brands. He was working for Revlon, Wella, L'Oreal, and he was out there promoting them. And he was, getting money for it. And he came from a very small town in Klagenfurt, Austria, and he came from a poor family that, my father's dad was a shoemaker, and he was, during the war, my dad was born in 1941, and World War II was going on, which started in 1939, and when it ended in 1945, my grandfather, Opa, was captured by the Russians. He was a military police, and he was put in prison for 2 years. And my Oma, my dad's mother, was running the household, and she worked part-time in apothecary. And, so it was hard to financially, meet your life, in the sense of putting food on the table and taking care of my dad, and he had 2 older brothers. My dad was the youngest, and so, it was hard to financially support all the stuff that was going on, and supporting the 3 sons.
And that was a foundational piece to this, because it was post World War, and not a lot of resources. So I remember that part of the story was that he really didn't grow up with nutritious foods.
No, not at all. And when he was 9 years old, through the Catholic Church, he was sent to Portugal because of taking care of 3 boys. It was hard to have they didn't have the financial means, so he was sent, and he lived on a farm, and that was difficult. Away from his family. After the war, food was scarce. A lot of people were eating canned foods, and there was a lot of the mercury in there, and it's just times were tough.
Right.
And it was a hard time to grow up, and he didn't have time to play and to be a kid. He grew up really fast, and financially had to set his own means in the sense of taking care of himself and also his family as well. So he didn't do very well in school, and he knew that he had to find his niche. Mm-hmm. And he was inspired outside of his bedroom window of a salon across the street, and he saw these people coming and going, and he loved the aesthetic of hair, and he just was drawn towards that. Mm-hmm. And so at the age of 14, he put himself through a 3-year apprenticeship program at this local beauty salon, and he just thrived. He loved servicing the client. He loved to communicate. He loved the reaction he got from his customers. He loved the part of that, the energy and how he made people feel was inspiring and just like this euphoric feeling like he's never had before, that he was in control and he was being financially paid for it.
Right, and doing something that he loved.
I got a talent, but he loved it.
Right.
He started, putting himself out there and doing Austrian kind of hair competitions. And he won that 3 times in a row, and people started to see him as this up-and-coming young artist.
Right.
And, he knew he had a talent, and he thrived within that. And so he really just blossomed as this creative hairdresser, and he used that to his advantage. And so to answer your question, of when he really brought in the whole holistic Ayurvedic medicine and practice of meditation and the yoga, it was a noticeable difference because he was always jet-setting. He was around. He was always bringing, people into the house and parties and, the hair and the aerosol hairspray. It was like that was one environment, and then it just changed instantly.
And that change though, there was something going on for him. What was it that made that instant change?
It was his physical being, that he was just burning himself out,
right,
physically, but also mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew for the sustainable piece of him and his soul that he needed to create a better environment and a lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And he found it through this holistic Ayurvedic healing practices. And he found Swami Rama that was lecturing here in Minnesota at the University of Minnesota. And him and my mother went there, and they listened to him, and that was it.
That's where it started.
That was what he needed. That was the answer to where he needed to go for his own being and his own journey. But it was all personal. It was all what he needed to do for himself.
And so the story, as I understand, he met Swami in Minneapolis, and then he went to India. Tell us a little bit about what he discovered in India and what he came home with from India.
Well, he went to India, and I was a single digit. I was pretty young, my brother and I remember when they left because, at that point they were just meditating, and we were going to retreats, and we'd always have guests at the house that were yogis and spiritual leaders and spiritual people. And when they left for 3 months. I remember it very well because, of course, I was young. I
right.
loved my parents horribly.
Right.
We had a babysitter that wasn't the sweetest, so that was, not fun. And, when they came back, it was like a total night and day shift in the sense that it was all more, this is a new lifestyle in the sense of, I remember not going to the typical grocery stores. Dad was like more into the farmer's market, and I remember when he picked up a cereal, because I wanted this kid, I was a little kid, and I'm like, I want this, colorful cereal, and my dad looked at me and goes, this has artificial coloring. Mm-hmm. This is not good for you. This is not food. And I remember looking at him going, what? And like, you're just like, well, why? Why would somebody put chemicals in for children, and that's what started the conversation of what is actually in our food, you
right.
know, And, you know, so everything was changed from how we run our household, the products that we use, and the food we put into our bodies and our environment. I mean, it was like we pretty much changed even our decor in our house. We had these beautiful Persian rugs from India, and these just like we're all sit cushions. We all sat on the floor.
Uh-huh.
You know, I mean, there was no couches or anything anymore. You know, and it was all about connecting with oneself spiritually and connecting with one another. And you know, that's where he really influenced his products. He always, before he even got into the art of Vedic medicine, before he met Swami, he had his own product line. He was a visionary in the sense of, I want to do it all. I mean, he worked 7 days a week,
right,
24/7. I mean, it was that was him. I mean, he wore us all out, you know, back in the day, and because he was a visionary and he was a pioneer, and he knew he had a lot of work to do, and he just did it because he loved and thrived on it. But he had his own product line. He did it, and believe this or not, he did an aerosol hairspray.
Oh, you're kidding.
Back in the day.
I never even realized that.
I'll have to send you a picture of it. I have a picture of it.
Okay.
We actually have the bottle here at our headquarters at Intelligent Nutrients. And it is, you know, this just vision within itself, because he has this, like, you know, he's Austrian, so he has, like, his own Austrian crust that he made for himself.
Uh-huh.
You know, Horst of Austria was on it. And you turn it around, and he's describing the difference of his product.
Uh-huh.
Like, there's no shellac, there's no, you know, emollients in it, you know, it's harmful, and da-da-da. And he's just like, my gosh, you know, this was like a game changer, you know, in its own. And, you know, so he had his own stuff. He was already playing around with vinegar rinses at that time, and he, within his salon, you know, he was like, and when he got exposed to the art of Vedic and the whole holistic side, he really started looking at the packaging and turning over to where the ingredient index is, and just like, what is in this stuff.
Right.
And he was like, if I really want to clean my lifestyle up and be pure and connect with the earth as I connect with myself, I have to really connect with my salon and the people that work in it.
Right.
And it just changed.
That was
like a light bulb,
right,
you know, that went off.
A word that he would use with us was a paradigm shift. His whole world changed.
Constantly paradigm shift, you know.
Now, I you know, one of the things that I remember was that he was always so good about making a case for why he believed a certain environmental or sustainable practice was important, and he'd present the science. He was really good about teaching as well as you know, presenting, making a case for it. As a parent, was it that the same approach he used with you teaching you, or was it just, I'm the parent and I say so follow me?
You know, he was all about you gotta be. He was a good influencer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he would introduce, and then it would be like, yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it wasn't. He wasn't harsh. Like, this is the way you got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
He was an artist and a visionary. That it was. There was no doubt that you weren't influenced by him. You
right.
know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel like I was ever forced.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do it. I actually, you know, especially within the food and just carrying on, and my dad would always say, you're so strict, you're so good at it, because he had a little sweet tooth, you know. And I was like, no, it's all, you know, salads and, you know, but anyways, no, you know, he was
a good teacher.
He
yeah.
was my guru.
Right.
And, you know, I was the sponge. I just wanted more, and I thrive on discipline,
mm-hmm.
you know, so he was that good influencer, and I'm the one that really strictly put it in my consistency, you know, daily rituals.
Right.
I'm like, if you're going to do it, you have to do it and be excellent within that.
Right.
So
and so
I'm harder on myself.
And that was the period in time in which he started making products then at home in the kitchen. Tell us a little bit about what you remember about the products being made.
You know, he was working all the time, 24/7. So, you know, it was normal that Dad would be in the kitchen. And at this point, when he really started to evolve his product line, Horst, at that point, he, you know, wanted to really work within his own kitchen. I mean, wherever he lived, he always had his lab connected there. I mean, that was it. He was working constantly, and he wanted access to everything. So he would be in the kitchen with Shiv Knots at that time, and my brother and I were quite young, and my mom was there. We lived on a farm. I remember Shiv Knots. You know, he was a yogi. He had his yogi attire on, and my friends would come and visit and hang out, and they go, "Who's the guy in the pajamas?" You know, and I'm like, "That's Shiv Knots. What do you mean? He's not wearing pajamas." You know, like people. You know, and like to me, it was normal. You know, like it was normal to meditate. It was normal to be in this, you know, world I was in.
Right,
know?
right.
And at very young, I knew it was a special way to be brought up, and so I embraced it. Right. And but I just thought it was normal. Right. You know, like, doesn't everybody, you know, have a Swami? I mean, and if you don't, you know, I highly recommend you get one because it's done amazing things for my father. You know?
Well, on that note, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, this conversation's definitely gone in a different direction, which I love. I want to talk about Shiv Knots because he's definitely one of the most special people in my life. So when we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll learn a little bit about who Shiv Knots Tandon is and how that played an important part in the development of the concept of intelligent nutrients today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Over here. Here's a secret for a virus-free computer. ESET. They've been a pioneer in the antivirus industry for over 25 years. 25 years of innovative, top-rated antivirus protection. ESET's award-winning security solutions provide a safe online experience for over 100 million home and business computer owners. They are so affordable, fast, and simple to use. So be gone, you blue screen of death. ESET's on my computer. If it's not on yours, visit HealthyLife.net's advertiser page and click on ESET now.
Here's the thing about beauty. It's pretty. At AmericanMadeBeauty.com, we're all about the pretty, making it easy for you to find what makes your beauty shine. We have essentially everything you need, and AmericanMadeBeauty.com celebrates brands that were created right here in the U.S. of A. Imagine everything you need from the best hair, skin, and nail products to makeup and even the tools, because it's all about pretty at AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We also think you're pretty important, so visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com. Browse, buy, learn. AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We're looking for a few good American beauty manufacturers who want to increase their brand in an exclusive credentialed category. If you're an American company who has conceived, designed, and bottled brands that are all about pretty, then we're pretty sure we're talking about you. And we're pretty sure you should be on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. This beauty website focuses on entrepreneurs and beauty startups as well as established brands. If it's pretty, we want to see it, and we want to sell it on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. To learn how you can be part of AmericanMadeBeauty.com, visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com now.
What does HealthyLife.net and Amazon.com have in common? Well, they're both available on the Internet. They both give great value. But most important, most of our positive program hosts and guests are accomplished authors, and their books are available from, you got it, Amazon.com. Now, it even gets better than that, because when you're listening on air to a HealthyLife.net host or guest, you can go directly to Amazon.com and you can order your book while you're still listening to your favorite HealthyLife.net program. So when you hear an author you like, go to the homepage of HealthyLife.net and click on Amazon.com.
Where positive people and radio unite. HealthyLife.net.
Welcome back. This is Patty Smucker, and you're here. We're here at Radio AMB with Nicole Rechelbacher of Intelligent Nutrients, a natural and organic Ayurvedic or a natural and organic environmentally responsible lifestyle brand. And Nicole, we were talking when we took a break about the introduction of Shivnath Tandon, who was someone that your dad met with Swami Rama, and he came to the United States with your dad and started helping to develop the product. Tell us a little bit about Shivnath and how that influenced sort of where Intelligent Nutrients is today.
Well, Shivnath, and personally, just the sweetest, most gentle man. I met Shivnath when I was quite young, and he was just always so special and so sweet. And when he came and lived with us, on the farm, and I remember Dad trying to teach him how to drive, and that was just terrifying,
Now, how old is Shivnath at that point? And he's got to be, in his early 30s?
Yeah. He was younger than that.
Okay.
And, he was just, he was part of the family.
Right.
And he really, helped and cultivate this amazing product line and kick it off, and was a spiritual connection for us all, especially when I was quite young.
Mm-hmm.
He was always very sweet, and he was a family member, and it was special to grow up and have him in our life.
Right. And Shivnath's role there was basically to be a guide with regards to the spiritual development, but also to start teaching your dad with regards to Ayurveda and the blending of the Ayurvedic ingredients, and together with your dad began experimenting as far as blending products?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were in the kitchen just making up products and then, using it on my brother and I,
You were the animal testers.
Yeah, we were the testers, and it was all just done in the kitchen. But he was there too to teach us all yoga.
Right.
Right. Shivnath was doing yoga all the time, and so it wasn't just the blend and the formula piece of it, and introducing the art of Vedic. It was the whole ritual he created within that, and he was brought on to create that experience within the salon. So in my dad's salons, he had a room for yoga. And I remember this very well because it wasn't a hit with all the stylists, because a lot of stylists, like the Paradigm Shift,
right.
They were, what is this, and some people don't see it, but some people do.
Right.
So, there was a change in staff, and some people left, but more people started coming in. And
right.
they wanted and were influenced at that lifestyle, and other people started to gravitate, especially towards the product and what is Horst doing, this lifestyle. He was on the road going out and selling other brands, and then he realized, what, I'm not going to be doing that anymore. I can sell my own product. I've got something here, and he knew he got something, and he had something special. But other people were like, well, we don't want your name on it. It's not selling very well, because a lot of people didn't know Horst, especially the consumers.
Right.
If you're a hairdresser, of course you did, because he was that platform hairdresser doing hair shows.
Right.
And representing, like, the beauty industry brands. So he decided to change the name to Aveda, the knowledge of life.
Right.
And he wanted Aveda to be better than Horst, or who he was. He saw a bigger picture of this brand, which is so true to him and his vision. He saw something way before people around him did. So he would see it, and we'd all try to seek it. And I think that's the artist of like an entrepreneurial person.
Right.
Is just that you're so ahead of it, and we all gravitated towards that because we saw it too, and we wanted to be a part of that. So, when he changed the name, it really created this beautiful brand within itself, and he could go and talk about it, but how he financed it and how Aveda came to where it was or where it is because he was hitting the road.
Right.
He was hitting the map. His salon was supporting Aveda. Everything he did in terms of the platform work and working and doing hair shows and working in the salon, the staff, they all were supporting. Everything he made, he went right back into the business. So he was working like crazy.
Right. And did you?
And this was his fuel.
Right.
You know?
Right. And did you? At what point did you know that you were going to go into the business and follow in your dad's footsteps?
Well, I never, wanted to really follow in his footsteps. When I was young, because I was like, that's like, to me he was like this guru. Like, I don't think I could ever do that. It was very intimidating, being so young and being so inspired. I just wanted to be a student of what he was doing, and I didn't want to put that pressure of I got to follow in his footsteps, because I wanted to create my own path and learn my way as well. And I knew that very young because Dad had this presence, and he'd always attract certain people. And so I always knew it very young he was very special by other people's reaction, you know? So I really wanted to study and be a student of his and observe and learn from that. But I was definitely wanted to always be around him. When I was very young, I would travel with him all the time. And when my mom and dad divorced, I wanted to be with him more because I never really got to see him.
Right.
And every time I got to see him, he worked, so we all worked.
And
when my mom and dad separated, I wanted to spend as much time with him, and so I said to him, every time I was with him, we'd do photo shoots, we'd do, sourcing. He'd always take me traveling, and I was just like, well, Dad, I really want to spend more time. I have summer breaks. Can I live with you? And he's like, yeah, I got a great idea. Why don't you go to beauty school? Because he had a school in Minneapolis. Remember that old kind of like a castle?
That's right.
Like, this really unique castle, but then it also had an extension where it was this really cool school. And this is where his whole vision started, because he really wanted to educate people directly. He wanted his own salon there. He wanted his home, lived on the top of it, and he had his studio. He did everything there. And this was really something of really the platform that got the exposure of Aveda to be that big brand and to really get that message out there and getting people to, say Aveda, not Aveda, right?
Right. That's right. All right, well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about how it fast-forwards into Nicole being involved in the business and the evolution of intelligent nutrients. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Here's the thing about beauty. It's pretty. At AmericanMadeBeauty.com, we're all about the pretty, making it easy for you to find what makes your beauty shine. We have essentially everything you need, and AmericanMadeBeauty.com celebrates brands that were created right here in the U.S. of A. Imagine everything you need, from the best hair, skin, and nail products to makeup and even the tools, because it's all about pretty at AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We also think you're pretty important, so visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com. Browse, buy, learn. AmericanMadeBeauty.com.
For all your live or pre-recorded webcasting needs, come to earthchannel.com. Get your web-based message out to a select group or the whole world. It's easy. A pioneer in webcasting, earthchannel.com provides the best products and services to big corporations and government users. And now this same technology is available to you. They have the best Earthcast encoders, servers, and products to meet your technical needs. But wait, don't want to mess with technical stress? No problem. They'll do it for you. EarthChannel.com is your answer. You can use webcasting for lots of things like advertising, marketing, customer support, training, and don't forget web radio and TV. In fact, you're listening to a live Earthcast right now. So come to EarthChannel.com. Actualize your audio or video webcasting needs today. You can't beat the friendly service or the price. Call EarthChannel.com at 1-800-849-8978. That's 1-800-849-8978.
We're looking for a few good American beauty manufacturers who want to increase their brand in an exclusive credentialed category. If you're an American company who has conceived, designed, and bottled brands that are all about pretty, then we're pretty sure we're talking about you. And we're pretty sure you should be on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. This beauty website focuses on entrepreneurs and beauty startups as well as established brands. If it's pretty, we want to see it, and we want to sell it on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. To learn how you can be part of AmericanMadeBeauty.com, visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com now.
When you're looking for bedding, department store prices can shock you. Well, be shocked no more. Sell steak cheap, not cheap steak. That's the motto of Anna's Linens. Although they don't sell steak, they do sell the best bedding, bath, and home decor items. They strive to provide their merchandise at extreme value to their customers, and they do it. Great everyday prices on everything and military discounts. Plus, if you visit them online, they have clearance items and internet specials. Visit them online now at HealthyLife.net's advertiser page.
Radio your way. HealthyLife.net.
We're here with Nicole Rechelbacher, co-owner of Intelligent Nutrients, a certified organic health and beauty company. Welcome back. You're listening to Radio AMB on HealthyLife.net. I'm Patty Smucker. And Nicole, when we took a break, we were talking about the school that was in the castle, and that was really a game changer overall in the business. Fast forward to today with Intelligent Nutrients. Tell us a little bit about how education is still playing a role in developing this amazing lifestyle brand you're involved with today.
Well, you said it right there. It's like a lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
What we're selling is nutrients for our cells to thrive, and our medium is shampoo and conditioner. And we also have skincare and aromatics, but it's really to educate people and seeing the point of difference of what our environment and what we have as a planet of these nutrients that are around us, and really creating these amazing formulas and cultivating them in a sustainable way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about really using our resources in a responsible kind of, more thought, in the sense of not just depleting, being ethical and responsible in our manufacturing. It's that old philosophy, it's like you take, but you give back.
Mm-hmm.
It's that sustainable piece of it. And education, when you have good education, it creates and the desire to really value what you have.
Right.
And it's a lesson within itself. And in education, you can never, ever stop learning.
Right.
The more you know, the better you do.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's all about getting our message out there, but being, innovative and learning new lessons. And the more that the consumer knows of what's going into products and understanding it, and this is all about decoding the ingredients, the more you're educated on it, the better choices you'll make for yourself, for your home, your salon, the environment, but also, most importantly, for the planet.
Right.
Because what the beauty industry is all about, especially in the U.S., because it's not regulated, is there's a lot of it's all about marketing, and positioning. You put a beautiful packaging, you put a beautiful model, and you're selling this fantasy. You do a whole thing on social media, and all these young kids are, wow, this is great. And it's a fantasy, and they come and go. And what we're about is learning what we learn through nature,
right,
and respecting it, and using things in a sustainable way, and not depleting our resources.
And what I love about it, and particularly, I wanted to hear a little bit about the idea as far as Intelligent Nutrients, but your whole history has been about making a scientific case. This is not just, like you said, it's not marketing materials. While there's rules that regulate the beauty industry, companies don't have to follow them, and they can still put product out in the market. The question is, you not only followed them, but you've exceeded what rules are out there by going to the source and understanding the science behind it. Tell us a little bit about how that's applied in intelligent nutrients. How are you making your activism come alive with the ingredients that you're choosing?
Well, we're really looking at where our ingredients come from. We're looking at the soil. Is it contaminated? And what are these ingredients? And are they altered in some way? I mean, there are 80 chemicals on the market today, and many of them don't have any safety data whatsoever. And that's pretty scary in the sense of what's really going on in terms of the sustainability piece of what we're putting into our products, but on our body, in our bodies, and also back into the earth. Because every beauty product that you use, and if you really think about how many products you use on a daily basis, okay, you have your hair, you have your shampoo, conditioner, then you have your styling products, and then you have toothpaste, and then you have all the layering that goes on, your skin products, and then your sunscreen. All this eventually goes back into the earth. So we really got to look at, okay, what is in these chemicals, and where is it going? Our body is our skin is our biggest organ. And everything we put on our skin gets absorbed through our skin. It's called dermal absorption.
Right.
And you have to think of it like, and I talk about this often, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, our skin protects. But, it goes into our organs. You have to think about how the patch works, the nicotine patch, and that helps to fight addiction. It's getting into our system.
Right.
It's getting into our environment. And what are these chemicals actually doing? Yeah, they might feel good. They might, create that foam that you love or that slippage, but, they aren't the actives. They're not the nutrients.
Right.
Our bodies identify with plants. They have the energy. We relate to those energies. And what we have done is really looking at the science and the sustainability piece and taking those key nutrients and being sustainable within that and putting it in our products. So you get the benefits. You're getting the nutritional nutrients, but you also have the safety. And there's a lot of work that goes behind this, and that's why we really go the extra mile, and we work with third-party certifiers to make sure the process of when we buy our raw materials, even to our packaging, are as safe and clean as possible. So that's why we use USDA Organic, Soil Association seals, Cosmos, and, of course, we don't test on animals and all that. It's really working with these third parties and partnering with them to making sure everything that we're getting each step of the way to the soil is as clean and safe as possible.
And I love the fact that you're involved in every step of that, but it also, you've taken it a step further in terms of making sure that you get these healthy nutritional ingredients, but that they perform. Tell us a little bit about, there's an ingredient that you talk about, the IntelliNutrient Seed Complex.
Yeah, our Telemune, our Super Seed Complex. I mean, this is about, it's cold press nutrients. It's taking like these beautiful seeds, cumin, pumpkin, currant, red raspberries, and we cold press it. And the reason why we do this is for its high antioxidant level, for our body to help fight the free radicals. And this is what we have as a supplement, a nutraceutical that we sell. So anytime our clients, our guests come in to our salon or to our retail locations, they say, "Oh, how do I start with intelligent nutrients? What is like the best product to really get my overall health and kick it into gear?" We're like, you got to start internally, and it is this beautiful elixir, and we have a seed meal during this extraction process. So you take the powder and the oil. It's two different products, and you take them together or you can take them separately, and it's really about creating this beautiful, high, supersede, potent antioxidant bomb to help fight free radicals that are in our environment.
And I love that. It's about the modern day innovation of skincare. I believe truly that in the next decade we won't take care of our skin by slathering stuff on the surface of our skin. So, and once again, you guys are innovating. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about how Intelligent Nutrients is continuing to be a leader in changing the beauty experience in the salon environment. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Here's the thing about beauty. It's pretty. At AmericanMadeBeauty.com, we're all about the pretty, making it easy for you to find what makes your beauty shine. We have essentially everything you need, and AmericanMadeBeauty.com celebrates brands that were created right here in the U.S. of A. Imagine everything you need from the best hair, skin, and nail products to makeup and even the tools, because it's all about pretty at AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We also think you're pretty important, so visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com. Browse, buy, learn. AmericanMadeBeauty.com.
When you're looking for bedding, department store prices can shock you. Well, be shocked no more. Sell steak cheap, not cheap steak. That's the motto of Anna's Linens. Although they don't sell steak, they do sell the best bedding, bath, and home decor items. They strive to provide their merchandise at extreme value to their customers, and they do it. Great everyday prices on everything and military discounts. Plus, if you visit them online, they have clearance items and internet specials. Visit them online now at HealthyLife.net's advertiser page.
We're looking for a few good American beauty manufacturers who want to increase their brand in an exclusive credentialed category. If you're an American company who has conceived, designed, and bottled brands that are all about pretty, then we're pretty sure we're talking about you. And we're pretty sure you should be on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. This beauty website focuses on entrepreneurs and beauty startups as well as established brands. If it's pretty, we want to see it, and we want to sell it on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. To learn how you can be part of AmericanMadeBeauty.com, visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com now.
Oh, man, it never fails. My suitcase just got ripped apart.
Life is a journey. Make it a pleasant one. Use Samsonite. You know the name. For almost a century, Samsonite luggage has proved itself to be the worldwide leader in innovative travel solutions. Let it be yours. Visit HealthyLife.net's affiliate Samsonite on our homepage and click to look at the fine luggage from suitcases to golf travel bags. And don't forget, take a look at their travel accessories. Make life a journey, a pleasant one, with Samsonite.
HealthyLife.net, where positive overcomes negative.
Welcome back. You're listening to Radio AMB on HealthyLife.net. I'm your host, Patty Smucker, and we are here with Nicole Rechelbacher, co-owner of Intelligent Nutrients, a certified organic health and beauty company. So, Nicole, I know that the building where your headquarters at, I had a chance to visit a few weeks back, and you've got this beautiful salon, very unique salon environment. Tell us about how you see the beauty industry. How has it evolved, and what do you think lies ahead for the industry?
You know, I mean, really, I don't think it's evolved that much as an industry whole. I mean, I think we definitely can do better in terms of what products we're using, our own life cycle of our salon, and how we are, managing the environmental impact that we have. And I mean, we definitely can and do better and managing that and really creating this platform of service and wellness to the customers. I think it's not about beauty. I mean, we all want to look and feel good and be beautiful, of course, but it needs to be this place where people feel that they can come and more of a wellness and service and rituals and that lifestyle piece. It's not about just going and getting your hair blown out. It's about learning the techniques of that sustainable piece of being beautiful within, but also, inspiring others in the sense that they have a place that they can go and get their hair and feel absolutely great, but also they can learn and feel like they're part of something in a bigger picture. And plants give out this beautiful energy. We get off beautiful energy. So within our salon, it's all about creating that energy with our aromas. When you walk in, you notice the first thing is the smell. And then you notice the conversation with the stylist and how they're asking, so, how are you? What type of products do you use? Are you allergic? We ask these questions because we want to see how our products can cater to them. It's that educational process of what is Intelligent Nutrient is about, what's our difference, and what we have to offer. So really within our own headquarters, and this is where we do our education for the professionals, but we also do consumer education. We just had the video Stink, which talks about synthetic aromas that we have here. We have an IN Spirit and Prohibition bar, which is all about experiencing aromatherapy through cocktails and kombucha. And so it's like this whole sensory place of where we can come together and educate one another for more than, just for a bigger purpose. The sense is like, yeah, we are just, doing a service of beauty and shampoo and conditioner, but it's about going above and beyond that and having people see it's a lifestyle.
Right. And
to really do good and do good for yourself and others, it's about really looking at your lifestyle. And we all want to feel good, but, and have a place that you that is achievable.
Right.
And a real intelligent place to do so. I mean, we want to be that place for that patient or that client that we have, that isn't well.
Right.
Maybe going through chemotherapy or, having other health issues, that we have a place where they can come and they can get better and they feel they can be nurtured in a safe way. And that's why we are definitely involved working with hospitals, oncology aesthetics, and training our staff to really look at all aspects of service. And not just doing a good blowout, but really looking at it in that lifestyle healthy way.
And you touched on a couple of different things, but I love the idea that you're meeting people where they are. So you've got the cocktails. So it's about understanding that there is choices in which you don't have to not ever have any fun. You don't have to be, there's ways in which you can make those good choices. You mentioned about oncology aesthetics. Tell us a little bit about that.
So Oncology Aesthetics is a training program that you go, there's several different organizations out there that train on teaching you how to work with patients going through treatment. And, there's different phases within their treatments. And some can be like 3 days, or they have extension programs. Each one is different. The one we use here in the U.S. is oncologyspasolutions.com, and we've hosted their training here, and our staff is trained, our esthetician is trained, and the reason why you do this is to really understand when someone is going through some type of treatment. Is there are different phases, and these different phases you should use certain products and you shouldn't.
Right.
And it's really understanding that, because what happens is first, these patients are shocked, and then they're thrown into these treatments right away, and they're just like disheveled. They're like, I just had this bad news, and now I'm going through chemotherapy, and whatever their diagnosis is, they might be losing their hair, there might be, and there's certain things you can and can't do. And that is when that client that you've serviced and done those beautiful blowouts for so many years needs you the most.
Right.
And the more we know, the better we can do. And we need, as a profession, to be a place where they can come, because once you go through an experience like this with a guest or customer, client, you'll have them forever. And it's about building relationships and educating together, because each person has their own journey, and this is a great resource to really know, what you can and can't do. I mean, you know, a lot of people, like, when they start losing their hair, going through chemotherapy, they're like, oh, I'm going to shave it off. Well, you shouldn't just shave it off because you can get nicked and get it cut. Well, that could get infected. Well, that's going to, you know, it could be, once you're going through treatment, that could be, you know, damaging.
Right.
Very harmful when you're breaking down your immune system. So there's certain things that you learn, and when you're on certain medications, you shouldn't be doing this, and you know, really dry, you should just use this. And so we know through our product lines of what to use during those phases. And looking at the healing process of it, you know.
Right, and sustainability. As we wrap up, I can't believe this hour has gone by so quickly. Nicole, what's ahead? When you think about continuing the work that basically has been your entire life, what are you most excited about in terms of the next steps?
The future.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just spreading our message and you know, continue on what my father left. You know, it's just, Intelligent Nutrients is an amazing company with a lot of soul. And he was a student his whole life and always strived to do better. He said, you know, if you know you can do better, you know, you should do better, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always striving for that. So, you know, we're just excited to get our message out there and really looking towards the future and partnering with people. Our customers are our partners. Our professionals are our partners. And really creating this beautiful platform for people to come together and spreading that message. And at the end of the day, that we all feel fabulous about what we do.
Great. Nicole, I don't think that the time was enough. I'm going to have you back so we can talk more. Thank you for being with us. So that'll be all for us today, and we don't miss our program next week when we will have another one of the celebrities of the beauty industry. Ilan Sassoon will be with us to talk about his journey and what he's doing in a new level of architecting beauty. And make sure that you send your questions and comments to request@AmericanMadeBeauty.com. I'm Patty Smucker. You're here. You're listening to Radio AMB on HealthyLife.net. Thank you for listening to Radio AMB, where we think pretty is pretty important in all things in beauty.